story to tell. After Iraqi President Saddam Hussein's administration was overthrown by the US Army in 2003, the Iraqi military turned to Western fighter jets, replacing aircraft of Soviet origin. However, serious problems frequently arose with Iraqi F-16s, forcing Iraq to modernize and upgrade its fighter squadron. According to media, the Iraqi military is gaining special attention for Russian military equipment. According to Top War magazine, Iraqi F-16s purchased from the United States after only a few years of operation turned out to be unable to perform combat missions and are only suitable to delight the public and military parades. According to military experts, the main reasons for the degradation of the F-16 squadron was the result of widespread corruption, which led to a financial shortage. Despite the vastly invested Iraqi defense budget, the Iraqi Air Force fighter fleets are still considered the least inefficient in the Middle East. The two types of fighters that the Iraqi Air Force is using are the 34 US F-16IQ Falcon fighters and 24 T-50s from South Korea. It is important to point out that among these fighters, the performance and combat effectiveness of the US F-16IQ Falcon fighter is still very limited. The US F-16IQ fighter was delivered to Iraq between 2014 and 2017 under the 2011 contract, of which 2 units lost in plane crashes. Despite the obvious shortcomings, pressure from the US forced Iraq to buy them. According to US military analysts, the Falcon version, developed exclusively for Iraqi Air Force, has extremely low technical efficiency. These are arguably the lowest performing 4th-generation fighters in the Middle East. The Iraqi Falcon fighter jets are the only version of the F-16 not equipped with the AIM-120 long-range air-to-air missile. Instead, the planes were armed with early obsolete Cold War missiles, such as the AIM-7 Sparrow medium-range missile and AIM-9 short-range missile. Even American military experts have to admit that these American missiles are useless. The AIM-7 missile lacks active radar navigation and electronic warfare measures. Iraq's aircraft, therefore, cannot pose a threat to modern fighters. For the AIM-9 missile, the missile's features such as speed, maneuverability, target seeker, and anti-jamming are clearly much inferior to the Russian R-73 missile, which Iraq's neighbors are Syria and Iran's in use. It is clear that Iraq does not enjoy the full confidence of the American administration and cannot count on the latest weapons. But the supply equipment will be sufficient to carry out the tasks. namely the fight against ISIS. However, the Iraqi F-16 fails to adequately cope with this threat. It can be affirmed that, in terms of close combat capabilities, the F-16IQ has almost no chance of intimidating the opponent. More importantly, poor maintenance made the failure of the F-16IQ even more serious. At least 10 F-16IQs were constantly on the ground, and the rest had problems with spare parts, especially with key elements of avionics and radar. According to analysts, this type of US fighter aircraft will soon be decommissioned in the Iraqi Air Force. Currently, the Iraqi military intends to gather resources to procure more advanced weapon systems. Iraq has openly expressed its willingness to invest in air combat vehicles, including the purchase of 5th-generation Su-57 fighter jets and Russia's S-400 air defense system. In order to make full use of this advanced equipment, Iraq will have to undertake a large-scale overhaul and upgrade its air force. But also from this point of view, Iraq is determined to separate itself from the US and turn to shake hands with Russia. If Iraq wants to buy Russian weapons and equipment, it will have to have good relations with the Russians. But given the current state of the US-Russia relationship, if the US wants to retaliate against Iraq, how will Russia defend Iraq? However, if Iraq is equipped with state-of-the-art Russian weapons, American retaliation may not be easy. Furthermore, the United States is now deep in the quagmire of Iran and has become antagonistic to Turkey. So it is likely that the US will agree to let Iraq get access to weapons from Russia. My video of Iraqi F-16IQ answer. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.